All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if it has BSS for its one main Google search, local and city search combined of Tulia, Texas. So we're back here in the GBC universe. We're taking declining boudoir photographers to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned post, pinned video. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our, here in white, we got our intent spectrum here. High intent on the left, low intent on the right. And if the boudoir photographer is rising, they're usually bringing in all peeps from, this entire intent spectrum, kind of all these cohorts. But if the boudoir photography business is falling, then they're missing one or many cohorts here on this entire spectrum. So over on the left, which we talk about here, BSS focuses on the highest intent people. Google search, social search, those searching for boudoir photo shoots like ASAP right now in their city right now. Over on the right, that's where we focus on like the lowest intent people in our city. And that's our other sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And right now, we only focus on working with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads over there. So that's what we got. Now, boudoir search sameness, BSS, is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And 0 slots means they're on page 2 or deeper, or effectively invisible, because we know that approximately 80% of all Google searches never even hit page 2. They're page 1 only searches. And we care about these 80% because these peeps are, that's the bulk of the market, the approximately 80%. So most of the market, that's the bulk. And if we're invisible to them, that's killing our business. Also, 1 slot on page 1, also not good enough. It's not good enough because, there's 10 organic slots on page 1 of Google. And if we're missing 9, or if there's 9 of the boudoir photographers on page 1, then, then basically we're looking the same as everyone else. We're not standing out. And a buyer's just going to, click on everyone's link going down, contact everyone, price shop everyone, and literally, we're going to be price shopped to death, compared to death. Now, 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Now, 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google, extremely common, but not normal. That means like we got big. It's not normal to have so few page 1 links on Google as a boudoir photographer. Either 0 1. Yeah, we got some big issues then if that's happening. And so market saturation, basically everyone knows about this one. This is when it seems like every week a new boudoir. It seems like someone's getting a new iPhone, they're throwing out their Google My Business profile, send out the National Boudoir, or and they got their website saying they're a boudoir photographer, and so they are, increasing the competition for the keywords on page 1, and increasing that competition, maybe kicking us off. And also, if someone gets, like a new camera now, they're posting the mom groups on Facebook saying that they offer boudoir photo shoots. And so that's market saturation. Also, big market saturation happened when COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but people still earn money somehow. And look, everyone's got a phone with a great camera, so kind of natural that a ton more people become, new boudoir photographers or offer boudoir photo shoot services. Now, the thing that most people don't know about is the false belief of page 1 equality, but more and more people are coming to know about it every day. So this is where, it's kind of auto-accepted by boudoir photographers, like, hey, every boudoir photographer basically gets 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And yeah, maybe my website was ranked on page 1, and and maybe market got a little saturated, we got pushed to page 2, and well, that's simply how it is. We are that's normal. And yeah, hopefully they delete their website so Google can re-rank us up on top or get us back on page 1. But that's not normal. Google will actually give us as many links on page 1 as we want to take, as we want to put in the effort to take. So it's basically like we're falsely believing, basically everyone gets 0 1 slots on page 1. No, that's incorrect. I know it's incorrect. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google in 10 days. Because I wouldn't put in the effort to take as many slots as I want, and Google does give that. Google does give those links to people. Next, we also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. So we're building up our universe here on the left. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the 2 horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. Thankfully, we now finally have a solution to boudoir search sameness. That is social search saturation, our S-cubed methodology, which we invented. The way it works is it's exactly what it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent keywords. most relevant to what boudoir photography buyers are searching. And when you saturate these on the social media networks, that's kind of like, our small streams or small rivers coming down the backside of the Andes Mountains in South America. And when we do that enough, eventually they'll flow together to the Amazon River. That's page one on Google. So kind of all these dominating these high intent keywords on the social networks will eventually flow to us dominating, as many links as we want to acquire on page one on Google for those searches. And also, a special thing about SQ methodology is it's the only strategy I've seen for boudoir photographers that can actually fight back against market saturation, overcome it, and still grow a business in a relatively fast time frame. The only other solution that had previously existed is building a brand, a well-known brand. Dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years. We literally ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore. AI is coming to eat people's, careers, livelihoods, and we gotta get moving. So how has SQ methodology overcome market saturation? So let's say we got 1 million boudoir photographers in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir, and we actually. So we're one of the 1 million. We're like, all right, market is extra saturated here. We need to crank up SQ methodology to the max to actually give ourselves a shot here to keep growing, not simply maintain, but actually continue to grow. So we crank up SQ methodology to the max, and let's say probably rank like the first 300 slots across all social networks for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in Raleigh. And as a result, that flows onto Google. And let's say we take the first 300 slots as well. So this would be like really ultra maxing it out, which is a very tiny possibility of actually ever happening. And so let's say, and as a result, anytime someone who wants boudoir searches on social or on Google, we're literally the only person they see for the first 300 slots. And Google is 10 slots per page, 10 slots organic search results per page. So literally the first 30 pages on Google is basically only us. And our competitors start showing up, page 31. But we already know approximately 80% of people ain't never even going to page 2. So ain't no one going to page 31 to find our competitors. So as a result, we're basically the only one our boudoir photographer or people who want boudoir can find. And we are, we're getting all the intake. Our business is the one that's still growing because we've taken over all the highest intent search slots. And so a lot of peeps, didn't even know this possibility existed because they had they kind of auto-accepted, implicitly accepted the false belief of page one equality. So that scenario in Raleigh, we're actually still growing the business, and everyone else, every other boudoir photographer is disappearing out of those million, but we are still growing the business and still successfully growing in the midst of massive market saturation. And this happens a lot quicker than brand. But kind of a bonus, long-term benefit is SQ methodology actually is the fastest way to reach a well-known brand. So imagine if you're a well-known brand and you still continue to use SQ methodology, you'll basically be unstoppable. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And initial benefit of this is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. And so, initial benefit of SQ methodology, we get more links, but on page one, on Google search. But as a result, every link we take, we're kicking basically a competing boudoir photographer off there, putting them back on page number 2. And we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. They're page 1 only searches. So we're making them visible to the bulk of the market, approximately 80% of the market that never even reaches page 2. So this is an awesome initial benefit, second benefit of utilizing SQ methodology. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. Now we do have a recommended minimum, a GBC recommended minimum of hitting 3 out of 10 page 1 links on Google. That's because if Google recommends 3 out of 10 times for the highest intent keywords, buyers are subconsciously going to be like, oh, why are they recommending this person so much? Come by the third time I see us, and they may even only click on our links, not even any of our competitors, even though we only have 3 out of 10 because we look so much better, so much larger, so much more recommended than the basically than everyone else. Also, there's a very, very tiny, rare chance that another boudoir photographer will have 2 slots page 1 on Google, so we dominate them as well. When we got basically when we got 3, so we dominate all the people that got 0 slots on page 1, or 1 slot on page 1, or 2 slots on page 1. We dominate everyone. And a boudoir photographer with BSC is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So this is our entire universe, micro universe here. We got a declining boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, or a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. Thankfully, we now have the solution, thank the universe. SQ methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility, we become a visible boudoir photographer, and we achieve boudoir search visibility. So now my results, me using SQ methodology. So I wanted to rank for the term BLCS boudoir, and I exclusively used SQ methodology to do this. So I started out with 0 out of 10 links on Google page 1. And let's look at how many organic slots I got on Google page 1. I was able to get using SQ methodology. So we got organic slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, slot 8, and slot 10. So I literally got 9 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 search with only 10 days of utilizing SQ methodology. So these are the results that I've got for myself. Now the main event here, we're gonna look at this boudoir photography business and check out, see if they got BSS for their local and their city search. Actually, they're in one, this time Tulia, Texas. I think it's in between Dallas and Amarillo, Texas, but they call it Amarillo. So let's check here. So here we go. Let's go roll to the organic slot. So here's what we got. We got slot 1. We got slot 2. Boom. Slot 3. Boom. Slot 4. Slot 5. Slot 6. Slot 7. And all right, dude, we got 7 out of 10. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We say page 1 dominance starts at 8 out of 10, so almost 8 out of 10 slots here. But dude, imagine, dude, they just kicked off 6 or 7 other competing with the photographers to be price shopped against for the 80% of searches on Google. Fantastic. This is what we want. This is what we want. Tulia, Texas. And yeah, we don't have it's local city search combined. So boom, perfect. This boudoir photography business does not have BSS, boudoir search sameness, for their local/city Google search, and they also have exceeded the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots Google page 1 organic search. So fantastic, fantastic. This is what we all wanna get to. So if you're a declining boudoir photographer, a DBP with boudoir search sameness, and you know that because you've gone and done the local searches, the city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your area, and you're saying you either had BSS for one, at least one of those searches, or you have, basically you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for at least one of those searches. So you got BSS boudoir search sameness, you're disappearing boudoir photographer, and you understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. So we can actually take as many, as a result, we can actually take as many page 1 Google links as we want. And you actually are saying, wow, SQ methodology, this is the only solution for you. You've actually been waiting for something like this to be able to, get all these extra links, page 1 Google search, kick out your competitors, which you actually like a lot more, make them invisible, put them slot 2 and deeper. So you like those initial benefits. You understand the market saturation, yeah, more page join because of, getting new gear just over time. And also you understand that, you're understanding that AI is taking more and more people's jobs right now. And then the last time this happened, COVID, people lost their job, is still to earn money. Everyone's got a super-powered smartphone with an ultra-powered camera. So a ton of boudoir photographers entered the market saturation during that time period. And you're realizing, wow, that's going to happen again more and more over time. On top of people upgrading their game to become boudoir photographers, but AI is going to get better and better every single day, every single year. It's going to be taking more and more people's jobs every single day, every single year, forcing more people into the market to become boudoir photographers because everyone's got a super powered smartphone, with an ultra powered camera. So you're like, so now you're realizing, wait, it's not really about page 1 links. We actually need so many page 1 links that we fully book out page 1. Then we got backlog of page 1 links that Google wants to put on page 1, but can't because we already have too many links there. So then it starts filling up page 2, 3, and 4. Basically, you're realizing you got to actually fortify your page 1 position so that no current boudoir photographer can ever, basically ever has a chance to rank there. Also, no future boudoir photographer that comes after AI takes their job will ever have a chance to rank there. And you're seeing that, okay, again, SQ methodology is the only solution that can provide that benefit because basically because it's the only way to get that many links out in the ecosystem. You also like the future, well, you want to achieve page 1 visibility become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility because you know you need these things on your journey to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And as a result, you're liking the future benefits of SQ methodology as well, because you understand we're making these videos, ranking for these keywords. We're actually building these invisible thematic keyword columns kind of plugged into our brand, business name, social handles, your name, website name, website URL, all those things, kind of this cluster of data, plugging in these invisible thematic keyword columns, or we're ranking for these keywords. And as a result, every day we successfully execute SQ methodology, grow these columns or add new columns, actually increase the probability we show up here in the AI overview. Here on Google, it's the #1 most premium placement. Right at the top, cannot pay for this through ads. And in parallel, we're actually increasing the probability that AI search apps start to recommend us as well. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. These are increasing in usage every single day for search. Google standard search decreasing every single day. And last time I did AI search for boudoir photographers in a city, it recommended me 3. And I actually went to do manual, Google standard search, Facebook search for boudoir photographers in that same city. And there was 60. So if only 3 be recommended through ChatGPT, we gotta get one of these 3 slots by any means possible. And you're understanding, okay, future benefit SQ methodology is the only thing that is going to give it your business the best chance to achieve that and increase that probability as fast as possible. Third feature benefit, growing you to become a large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than all these other methodologies or all these other standard solutions because we're doing much more volume spread across many more surfaces. So like that feature benefit. You also understand that my current plan is to only work with 1 boudoir photographer per city. So you like that. You can get all these benefits, prevent your competitors from getting them, and build up kind of like a large competitive gap between you and them. The links on page 1 for all these keywords, and going and doing basically going and doing building that back end AI keyword mindshare kind of momentum over time for every day that SQ methodology is correctly executed. And as a result, you decide you're going to be first mover in your city without this new technology. Give yourself kind of a leg up on everyone else, because the converse scenario, if one of your competing with photographers were to sign on with me first, then you would actually me and your competitor would be getting all the links on page 1. You'd be booted off to page 2, 3, 4, deeper, invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. We'd be fortifying them, so you're on page 1, so your chance to have a rank on page 1 again decreases, every single day. And as a result, you would then actually, me and your competitor would be building up this massive back-end AI keyword kind of cloud, or back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum for the highest intent keywords, so they can be recommended in AI overview and AI search apps. And that gap would get bigger every single day. And for you to compete, what you actually have to do is rederive S-cubed methodology on your own, but you would never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. And you would also have to then execute it equivalent to us every single day. And if you were to do all that, you would actually be maintaining the gap me and your competitor had already built up ahead of you. So you'd never actually make any progress towards closing that gap. So in order to close that gap, you'd actually have to increase, 2 to 3x our output. And, since you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly in the first place, it's hard for you to even put in that time to 2 to 3x our output. And then you're looking like, dude, who's even got 80 hours a day to do all this stuff? So you've decided to screw all that. You decided you'd rather be the first mover in your city and not deal with missing out on this, making sure a competitor doesn't get it. And so, if that's you, shoot us a DM. The hospital is currently closed for new patient intake, but if you, but when we open the hospital for new patient intake, you can DM us then. Because even if you find somebody to contact us now, nope, we ain't working with you. So DM us once the hospital opens for new patient intake, and then we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.